What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. EMT here, and in this video, we are going over the brand new Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro. We're going to unbox it, see what's included in the packaging, and of course, we're going to go over the buttons and settings and some of the basic features of this gimbal. Feel free to skip forward using the chapters, and without further ado, let's dive in. The Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro will start at $449 US. However, the Pro Kit, which includes the complete solution, is priced at $549 US. Now, the package includes your MT3 Pro, a camera mounting base, quick release plate kit, and so on. The bidirectional twist handle, the remote mount, and the spot mini motor with its accessories, the gear ring, as well as the rod holder, are only included in the Pro Kit. You do have the ability to acquire the bidirectional handle separately, but as of right now, the spot mini motor and the accessories are only available on the Pro Kit. And the spot mini motor is a fantastic tool for us to be able to leverage manual cinema lenses, or just simply zoom in and out using the side roller of your Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro. Now, along the sides of your gimbal, you will find your USB Type-C port for charging, which is located on the right side of your handle, right next to your NATO ports. And this is great for connecting accessories such as the Hohem bidirectional handle. Near the tilt axis, you will find the reverse charging USB Type-C port. And this will allow you to power your mounted device, such as cameras and smartphones. Right below it, there's a focus motor port. And this port powers the Hohem Spot Mini motor. In the front side, you will find a camera control port, which is also USB Type-C. But the purpose of this port is to connect your camera and trigger your shutter. At the bottom of your handle, you will find a 1/4-inch mount for, of course, the included tripod, but you could leverage this port for any tripod. Once your Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro is charged, make sure you attach the tripod at the bottom of the handle, unfold, and place on a flat surface. The gimbal is packaged at a lock position, so make sure you unlock those at each individual axis. You have one in the panning axis, right above the trigger. You have one in the roll axis, and you also have one on the tilt axis. Adjust the position of the gimbal to its natural position and then lock again those axes in place. Loosen the knob on your camera mounting base, and while pressing the safety lock, slide the camera mounting base right into the gimbal and tighten the knob. Loosen the knob on the lower quick release plate and remove the upper quick release plate. And make sure you unfold the anti-deflection baffle. This will prevent your camera from sliding forward. Attach the upper quick release plate at the bottom of your camera, just like that. Once your upper plate is attached, now we're ready to attach it to the lower quick release plate. Tighten the knob and we're off to the races. Unlock the lower level of your camera mounting base to extend it so it matches your camera width. Unlock the upper lever, and this will give you the ability to attach your lower quick release plate once it's all connected to your camera. There is a button on the side that acts as a safety lock so your plate doesn't slide away. And once your camera is mounted, don't forget to lock your upper lever. You also have the ability to use the knob to make micro adjustments. Now, if you'd rather mount your camera in a vertical position, loosen the camera mounting base, press the safety lock, and then just simply slide your camera mounting base with the camera attached. You can actually rotate it 90 degrees and slide it back down in the railing for vertical position. Don't forget to tighten the knob on the camera mounting base once more. Now, if you're shooting with longer lenses, it is recommended that you use the included lens support. This will give you added stability. In order to mount a smartphone, it's fundamentally the same. Now, make sure your phone is snug against the back of the phone clamp, then unlock the lever on the phone clamp, and while pressing the safety lock, just simply slide it back down just like we did the camera mounting base. Lock it back in place, and we're ready to balance. Remember that you also have the ability to quickly switch from horizontal to vertical shooting on smartphone just by simply rotating the phone grip. Now, if you'd rather shoot with an action camera, you can leverage the upper quick release plate, just like we did on the previous camera. Now, when it comes down to balancing, I personally prefer a stress-free way of doing it, and that is axis by axis. I lock every axis in place except the one I'm working with. So let's start with our tilt axis. Unlock your tilt axis, and we want to make sure we're adjusting the mounting base against the side rail of the gimbal. We want the lens to look straight up. Once you achieve that position and your camera is looking to the sky, now we're going to start adjusting your tilt. So rotate your camera so your lens is looking forward. And here we're going to unlock the upper lever just to make sure we make those fine adjustments and push the camera forward or backwards according to the natural tilt. Once you find the balance position and your camera is looking straight ahead, lock that lever and we're ready to move on to the next axis. Now the premise here is simple. If your camera rolls to the left, we have to move the camera to the right to counterbalance and vice versa. Towards the back of the gimbal, you will find the roll axis. You'll be able to unlock that lever, make those small adjustments, and then once you find that balance, we're gonna relock it in place. A cool feature of the MT3 Pro is that each axis is Teflon coated, so making these adjustments should be a lot easier than before. Make sure you unlock your pan axis, which is located right above the trigger button on the handle. We do also have a Teflon coated slider where you can push it forward or backwards in order to achieve balance of your pan axis. Now, if your camera moves and it doesn't stay in place when you rotate it like this, then we still might have a little bit of work to do with that panning axis. And once you achieve great balance, your camera should stay in that position even if you try to tilt it off its axis. On the right side of the gimbal, you will find the power button. If you press and hold it for 3 seconds, it will turn on or off your Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro. If you press it twice, you will enter standby mode. And this is a fantastic feature for you to make changes, adjustments to your settings, and so on, without having to turn off the entire gimbal. And if you're shooting on a smartphone, this easily gives you the option to lock everything, take your phone, pick up the call, put everything back in, double click, and you're back in the game. Now, before you start shooting, I always recommend performing a calibration. Every time you switch to a camera, smartphone, or action camera, the motors will behave differently. And this ensures that you get the best performance and the best battery. Double click the trigger in the back to recenter your gimbal if it's not centered already. And on the touchscreen, we're gonna go to more settings and engage level calibration. As an alternative, you can also press the mode button 5 times, and that will allow you to enable the auto level calibration. Your gimbal has the ability to connect to cameras and smartphones in multiple ways. For smartphones, it is recommended that you connect it via Bluetooth, leveraging the Hohem Joy app or native connection. And it's very easy. As soon as you open the gimbal and open up the Hohem Joy, you can create that connection. Alternatively, if you swipe down from the home screen on the gimbal, you'll be able to pair it manually to your device. And if it's a camera, make sure you check the compatibility list. As an alternative, you can connect directly to the gimbal with the included cables so you can trigger your shutter. Now, we already know that the mode button allows you to access the level calibration by pressing it 5 times. However, if you press it 1 time, it'll cycle between the different follow modes. Pan follow focus on your panning. Pan and tilt follow includes tilting and panning. POV mode allows you to move your gimbal freely. And then of course you have a custom or all lock function that pretty much lock the gimbal in place. Now if you press the mode button 3 times, that engages inception mode. Unrestricted 360-degree rotation, so you can perform your Dutch angle maneuvers. In the back of the handle, you will find a trigger. If you tap it once, it'll enable or disable AI tracking. If you tap it twice, it'll recenter your gimbal. And if you tap it 3 times, it will rotate 180 degrees. It's great for vlogging and also for whip pan transitions. Now, if you press and hold, it'll enable sports mode. This will give you faster motor response for action shots. And then if you tap once and hold, this will temporarily enable all lock mode. It's great for cinematic maneuvers while on the fly. In the detachable remote control, you will find a joystick that will allow you for panning and tilting. On the right side of the detachable remote control, you will find a side button. And this button will behave very similar to the trigger of your gimbal. If you press it once, it will pause or resume AI tracking. If you press it twice, it will recenter your gimbal. If you press it 3 times, it will perform that rotation, that 180-degree rotation. And lastly, if you press the side button on the detachable remote control 5 times, it'll pair the gimbal to the detachable remote control. For this, you also have to press the side roller on the gimbal 5 times to establish that connection. Now below the mode button, you also have your shutter button. When a camera is mounted, you can actually have press to focus. You can press once to start or stop recording video. And also you can press and hold for 1 second in order to take a photo. When a smartphone is mounted, you can actually press the shutter button twice in order to switch between photo and video mode. This works exclusively with the Hohem Joy app. When an action camera is mounted, you can press once to start or stop a video. And if you press twice, that allows you to switch between photo and video modes. Now the side roller of this gimbal, it's a multifunctional roller. Of course you can roll it forward and backward, but it is actually a clickable button. You can press the wheel to select a function and roll to make adjustments. If you press the roller twice, you can cycle between focus control, roll control, and even light controls. If you press and hold the roller, this will turn on or off the fill light. Because yeah, the front of your gimbal has a solid fill light built in. You can cycle between CCT and RGB. On the side of the gimbal, you will find one of my favorite features, which is the A to B buttons. And these A to B buttons will allow you to create a start point and an end point for a designated custom path. This is fantastic for time-lapse shooting. To set your A to B functionality is really easy. Just simply position your gimbal in your desired start point and simply press and hold the A button. You will hear a beep indicating that your starting point has been recorded. Rotate your gimbal to position B, and once again press and hold the B button to set your end point. If you would like to go back to the starting point, just simply press A once for the gimbal to rotate. And if you would like to go from point A to point B, just simply double tap B. By default, the MT3 Pro will perform this move within a minute, but you'll have a lot more control when you go to scenarios and A to B functionality on your remote. Now the Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro supports 5.5 pounds of payload capacity, and for the most part, I typically use it with my 15 to 35mm lens mounted on my Canon R5 Mark II. On top of that, I often throw in the Spot Mini motor so I can interact with my focus or my zoom. Depending on your body, you might be able to even put a telephoto lens in there. The fact that you can create these specific combinations, whether you're a cinema shooter or a casual shooter, this has you covered with 5.5 pounds of payload. Now, one of the most important features of the Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro is the built-in AI tracking capability. This gimbal not only lets you track people, but it also lets you track pets and objects. Now, there are multiple ways to enable and disable AI tracking. You can enable subject tracking by simply using the OK gesture, and you can stop AI tracking by raising your palm. Additional gestures include the reframing gesture, and you will see a green light blinking, letting you know that you're free to step in the frame in different positions. And to re-engage tracking, just simply do the framing gesture again. And now you'll be tracked in that new position. You can also trigger your shutter with the shutter gesture. Now, as an alternative, for a little bit more hands-on approach, you can actually enable and disable tracking right on the detachable remote control. If you're tracking a person, you will see a yellow box around their face. You can just simply double tap their face and the gimbal will automatically start tracking that person. But if you'd rather track an object, like a car, a wedding cake, or a building, you can actually select that object by tracing a box around it on the detachable remote control and pressing the side button. This will enable tracking, and to stop tracking, just press that side button once again. Now, the detachable remote control with the live feed has a range of about 10 meters, which once again is a phenomenal feature for solo content creators. And when paired with the bi-directional handle is a thing of beauty because not only you have a little bit of a reference of what your camera is seeing, but at your fingertips, you have the ability to make quick adjustments on the fly to your motor response and different modes. And let's not forget about image stabilization, which is one of the most important reasons why you would get a gimbal. And with iSteady 10.0 stabilization algorithm, your footage is going to look smoother than ever. Here's a comparison between going handheld and with the Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro in New York City, and the difference is just massive. This is a fantastic tool for you to elevate that smooth, buttery cinematic moves, whether you're a wedding videographer or just simply capturing life's moments. Alright, and this has been an overview of the Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop them down there so we can continue to create relevant content for you. If you enjoyed this Hohem iSteady MT3 Pro overview, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Leave a comment with your favorite feature of this gimbal. And as always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I'll catch you on the next one.
I've been thinking about good times.